everybody, I'm Chef Jeffrey Smith. Have you guys ever heard of elote? That's one of my favorite snacks to get when I go to amusement parks and things. But what that is it's Mexican street corn, and it's corn on the cob, and then they put like cotija cheese on it and chili spices and maybe some lime. Super delicious. I love it. We're gonna turn that into a soup today. We're gonna be making Mexican street corn soup, and it's super easy and really fast. We're gonna use frozen corn. You can use fresh in place, of course, but we're just going for convenient and fast today. So what I have in this pot here is some onion that I have just started to brown just a little bit. You don't have to brown it if you don't want to, just so it starts to turn translucent. That's kind of what we're after. Next, I'm gonna just season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, and then to that I'm gonna start adding my seasonings or spices. So what I'm gonna add here is I have cumin, chili powder, coriander. Coriander, if you've never heard of that, that's the seeds of cilantro actually that they grind up, and that's coriander. And then paprika, so that's gonna go in there. Gonna give that a stir, and then followed with some garlic. I gotta have the garlic in there. Every savory thing I ever cook has to have garlic. So I'm gonna give that a stir. Okay, once that comes together, the next thing I'm gonna do is add our corn. This is a 2-pound bag of frozen corn, the sweet kind. You can just find in the frozen aisle at your local Smith's. Put that in there, and of course you can use fresh if you wanted to. This is a good soup for summertime if you've got fresh corn you want to use up. I would say it's probably about 6 ears of corn if you're gonna go that route. But since we're not quite to summer yet, we're gonna go ahead and use the frozen, and it's equally as good and sweet and delicious. So I'm gonna give that a stir, and then we're gonna let that corn kind of cook and kind of brown up. And that's what I have going on in this pot over here, is that corn just cooked and it's just looking super good, smelling wonderful. Okay, so it's not just gonna be a mouthful of corn when we do this. So what I'm gonna do is take half of that corn and put it in my blender. The corn, onion, all that good yummy mixture. I'm gonna put that in my blender and on the counter. That's just normal for me. And then what I'm gonna do is put my chicken broth. This is the base of our soup. You don't quite need all of it. I'll go ahead and just pour the rest of that in here. Just enough to puree that corn. Okay, we can probably get rid of this spoon now too. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my blender top on, give it a whirl. Just maybe 20 seconds, maybe not even that. I'd say it's ready right now. Okay, perfect. So that's done. And what I'm gonna do now is just add that right back into my soup. So it's gonna have a lot of texture, this soup is. A lot of flavor and a lot of texture. And it's gonna be super yummy. Okay, so what you do now is then bring that back up to a simmer, and we're not gonna wait that long for it. But what I'm gonna do now is show you how to finish it. So normally you would let this simmer for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, not long though. But to finish the soup up, I love to put cream in soups. And what that does is it not only makes it creamy and delicious, but it also just kind of adds like a velvetyness to the soup that I really love. So I'm gonna add that cream to it. I'm gonna add some lime juice. And really guys, after that's maybe come back up to temperature, it's done, and that's your soup. It's super easy to make. Let me show you how to finish it. So I have my bowl here. Let's just pour some of that in there. Looks super good. I love the flavors, I love the smells, the textures. And then what I'm gonna do is just garnish it with some crunchy tortilla strips. Maybe some green, gotta have some green, we'll go green onion. Some cotija cheese, that's the kicker for street corn, is you have to have that cotija cheese. And then maybe some sour cream. I'm gonna leave that off this time, but of course you can find all of these ingredients at your local Smith's. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for shopping, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.